Hello, sports fans, and we've got another exciting episode here on Play It Right. This is Quinito Henson, along with.
And I'm Dyan Castillejo. Thank you for joining us again. Of course, we are again talking to the latest, to the greatest athletes in the PBA, TNT.
And on this episode, sports fans, we've got the newly crowned Philippine Cup PBA champion, TNT head coach Chot Reyes, who is joining us from the US, and plus two key players from his championship squad. One from Ateneo, that's Erram. Another from La Salle, that's Kib Montalbo. We've got a nice balance. We've got a great show coming up for you. And first off, a few opening remarks from Coach Chot Reyes.
Well, thanks for inviting me, Quinito. Dyan, nice to see you. Glad to be here. It's been a couple of days since that historic win. We've had a chance to reflect on it a little bit, and can't wait to go down and answer your questions. Go easy on us, though.
Thanks, Chot. And Dyan, we've got two very high quality players joining us.
I know. So, maraming first time sa inyo. So, first off, how does it feel to win a championship? Kano ka sarap ang pakiramdam? Poy, ikaw muna.
Syempre first time So sobrang sarap. And it took me a long time to get here and to call myself a champ. So ibang klase, syempre. So sarap sa pakiramdam and then sobrang blessed din kasi ang daming pinagdaanan ng team. So sobrang saya.
Let's throw this first question to Coach Chot Reyes. Coach, you've been away from the PBA for 9 years. You had your Gilas chores, and then you got really busy as a globally recognized motivational and leadership speaker. I mean, you're well known all over the world. You've been cited, you've been recognized and honored. What brought you back to coaching in the PBA with your busy schedule? And how did you form this team? Did you have a style in mind, and then you brought in players to make sure that your system would work? Because meron ka mga anim na kurimaw na nakuha.
Well, first of all, what brought me back, to be very honest, I really didn't think I would be back. I thought I was done with my professional coaching days. And I was really planning on doing a lot of other things with my career. However, when the invitation, the call of the chairman, Mr. MVP, came in February, it forced a period of deep self-reflection. And essentially, number one, it's very, as you know, it's very hard to say no to the chairman. Number two, the lure of a challenge. You know, the huge challenge of doing something that hasn't been done in the past 11, 12 conferences of trying to break the San Miguel stronghold on the title, and also the challenge of giving the franchise a title in its first 6 years. Was very big, but was very attractive to me. But really, what was most important was in my quest to do the other things that I was doing. I've always said in my talks and in my interviews that my purpose is to help develop the next generation of Filipino leader, men and women who lead their organizations not only for profit but to make a difference. And I thought being back in the PBA afforded me a larger platform, a more high-profile platform to further that advocacy. And so I said it was a very good a confluence of circumstances, and that's why I eventually said no. I asked for a couple of weeks from the chairman to give my answer, and now how things have turned out, I'm very glad. I'm very happy. I did. Uh, as to how I built the team, I took a look at what the materials were, what kind of players the Talk and Text team had, and it was a pretty strong team. the way it was built and constructed already, it was a pretty talented team. Perhaps perhaps not the deepest, not the most talented, but certainly above average. The big blow, of course, came when we lost Ray Parks, and so we really looked long and hard, and fortunately, we were able to make the Mikey Williams deal happen. And so when I knew that I had that core, the nucleus of players, it was now a matter of finding out what are the pieces that fit. And so we looked at the free agent list. That was the easiest, that was the lowest hanging fruit. Who were available now? The players who we did not have to make trades to get, players who were available. Just get them, present an offer, and if they liked it, they will sign. So two things. I'm not one to force fit my system on the players. So I took a look at the players that we had. I took a look at the competition, and the one thing that was uh, in common between the really strong teams like San Miguel and Ginebra were their size, superior size. So I said, no matter what we do, we cannot outsize these teams. Because there's no other. They have all the size and the 7-footers in the league. So I said the best thing we could do was to try and beat them in other ways, and that's the team that I put together. A team that would have a chance to beat those strong and tall big teams in other ways. And so that's why then I went out and picked those pieces.
Coach Shot, you were talking about building your team, but you brought in a major piece in Kelly Williams, who sat out the bubble conference, and you were talking about how you would be outsized by the other teams. He's an undersized center, but you brought him back for what reason?
He had one thing that most centers didn't have, and that was quickness and athletic ability. So I was taking a look at the playoffs, and I was just pitying the guy here, Mr. John Paul Erram, trying to carry all those heavy minutes in the center slot for this team. And I said, boy needed help. Boy needed a lot of help to man that slot. And I thought, and I looked, who is a player or players who can both spell and substitute with Poi, rotate with Poi in the center slot, and at the same time play with him. And the first guy I looked at, the lowest hanging fruit, was Kelly Williams, if I could convince him out of retirement. And then Dave Marcelo. So that's what happened. Both Kelly and Dave, they are able to rotate with Poi in the center slot, but they can both also play with him. And I guess that's eventually the kind of center situation that we ended up having.
Coach, let's move over to Kib. You seem to be the lucky charm for TNT. You played two conferences with the franchise, two back-to-back final stints for you. But what a transformation, because dun sa Clark bubble, you did not score a single point in the finals. But here in the Philippine Cup conference, you didn't only make the right plays defensively, you didn't only help in the point guard chores, but you also contributed points. You had 22 points in that big win over Northport in the eliminations. And when Coach Shot needed a big basket from outside, you were there, willing and able to make the shot. Tell us about the experience from the Clark bubble to the Philippine Cup that just ended. Kib Montalbo.
Well, I think yung sa Clark bubble was just a rookie season for me. And parang feel of the game pa lang yung nangyayari sa akin sa finals, and all those adjustments. It was my first time playing in a 7-game series nung finals against Ginebra. And then this year, during the off season, I really prepared for it, and parang I held myself accountable na I need to be ready kung whatever role na binigay sa akin, and I just gotta work on my game. So I worked hard during the off season, all those early mornings, and they really paid off.
Diana, I'm sure you've got a lot of questions for Kib.
Okay. No, because I was just, I saw the comment of William saying that you provided the energy spark that the team really needed. I mean, from coming from where you were to raising up your level of game to what it was. Paano mo ginawa yun? I know Coach Chot has been saying that you're putting in so much work on the gym, staying extra minutes and all that. Pero on your own, I mean, going through all the things that we're going through, paano mo nagawa yun?
I saw a post kay CJ McCollum once he said na the work never lies. So sabi ko sa sarili ko, like, I just gotta put in the work, and yung confidence na nakukuha ko is not just pure it's not just confidence na sinasabi lang. It's the work that I placed in during the off season, and during the season I just trusted my work, and I just thank Coach Shot for giving me the chance and opportunity and the trust na binigay niya sa akin, and sinusuklian ko lang yung trust na binigay niya sa akin by doing my job. Yes, and that's to provide energy, play defense, and siguro score 1 to 2 threes a game. But the thing is, yung primary role ko talaga sa team is to play defense. That's why when I mess up on defense, I would hear it from Coach.
You know it.
I wanted to ask both Kid and Boy, what's it like being under the Coach Chot Reyes? Can you share with us a little bit? Oh, he's listening, but tell us your experience. How was it for you? Ikaw, Kid first.
Well, kay Coach Shot, parang it's more of a team effort talaga. May nga kami parang yung what do you call that, Coach? Yung parang model.
Yeah, you tell me what's the team model. You better
Trust,
know.
effort, accountability, and what's
Motivation.
M? I forgot M.
Oh yeah, sinabi na ni Poy.
What is it?
Yeah, motivation. Yeah. So, parang ever since the start, talaga, parang yan talaga yung sinasabi niya. And we worked hard this off-season from all those Ilocos, mga sand dunes. Yun talaga yung nakakapagod Pero parang pinapatiwala kami ni Coach sa sarili namin, and just trusting the system, trusting the team that we can do it. Madami kami pinagdaanan, and we just put in the work.
Ikaw naman, Poy. How much of a confidence builder was Coach Chot for you?
Siyempre sobrang taas kasi lalo na sa akin na yun nga, parang coming from last year na starting ako to from off the bench. Sabi ko, parang naisip ko na hindi na importante kung ano yung kailangan ng isang player. Ang importante kung ano yung kailangan ng buong team. And throughout the process, throughout the off-season, nakita ko yun. Every time na may meeting kami, every time na kakain na lang kami, hindi kami kakain, mag-meeting kami, mag-uusap kami. Everyone has to share. Everyone kailangan may sabihin ka. Ang lagi nyo lang ina-emphasize is to be accountable. Kung ano man yung ginagawa mo off and on the court kasi it will affect you and the team. So, parang pag nangyari yun, pag naging negative yun sa'yo and negative sa team, mangyayari, maapektuhan yung team, di ba? So, kailangan mo talagang unahin palagi is yung team palagi. Yun nga, di ba? Yung series namin sa Magnolia, sobrang hirap nun. So parang kami, imbis na mag-retaliate kami force by force, we retaliate by playing a good game, playing our A game, and then yun, to win the game. Kasi for us, yun yung pinaka-importante. The goal is to win, not to parang revenge na parang saktan mo rin yung player. Hindi ganun. Ang gusto namin is to play with discipline and intensity, yung sinasabi palagi ni Coach. So for that, sobrang taas ng namin, ng saludo. Sobrang saludo kami ni Coach kasi hindi niya kami hinayaan na, although nasaktan kami, pero sabihin niya na hindi na tayo pwedeng gumanti ng parang saktan din sila. Kailangan natin gumanti na mas ayusin pa natin kasi nirespeto natin yung kalaban natin and we respect the game. So by that, sobrang naging taas ng confidence ng bawat isang player. Kahit na hindi ka ginagamit, naiisip mo talaga na ang laki ng tulong na player na to kahit di ginagamit. Yung may mga player kami na kahit di ginagamit, nakikita mo na yung isa, pa nag-shooting kami sa warm-up, nagpupulot ng bola, makikita mo talaga na yung tiwala niya sa amin sa bawat isa sa amin. Alam namin na, yun nga, na accountable kami sa lahat ng ginagawa namin. And by that, lahat ng ginagawa mo nagmamatter sa team. Whether it be positive or negative, magmamatter yan sa team.
Boy, pag-usapan natin yung matchup mo dun sa San Miguel at saka sa Magnolia series. Okay, unang-una sa San Miguel, nag-start ka the first 4 games in that series. And then from then on, nag-off the bench ka na, no? Coach Chot sort of played small, got you off the bench. Pero yung mga matchup mo sa San Miguel series, Arwin Santos, Mo Tautua, Kraken, nandun lahat. Tapos sa Magnolia naman, Ian Sanggalang. Sino ba ang pinakamabigat na kalaban mo in those 2 series?
Junmar talaga mahirap eh. Junmar. As in, sobrang hirap. Actually, talaga, ever since naman, Junmar talaga pinakamahirap, pinakamabigat. Pero yun nga, yung sa matchup, we don't talk about it as a matchup eh. We talk about it as a team matchup. So syempre, hindi naman pwede si Junmar lang istapin mo. Dami namang umi-score sa kanila, di ba? So you have sa San Miguel, you have Cabagnot, you have Ross, you have Arwin, you have Marcio. And then sa kabila naman, sa Magnolia naman, you have Paul, you have Mark Baroka, you have Calvin, you have Ian, you have Gio. So talagang we prepare as a team and we prepare for them na talagang nire-respeto namin sila kasi we know what their capability is. So hindi namin kailangan pabayaan yung mga ganung bagay.
Coach Chot, looking at the final stats, in the 4 games that you won over Magnolia, you held them to an average of only 82.75 points, to less than 40% shooting, and your average winning margin was 15.5 points. I was noting down some calculations. Out of the 192 minutes that you played in 4 games, Magnolia led only about 6% of the time, or something like 11% of the time. So that was total dominance. Was that by design? I mean, did you feel entering the finals that you had Magnolia's number?
No, not at all. We knew we had a good chance. We knew the sharpening and the toughening up we got from the San Miguel series would give us was going to be a plus factor for us going to the Magnolia series. But dominating them was not in our minds at all. We wanted to focus just on every possession, every minute, every game. We wanted to keep our sight short, just to be focused on what was at hand and not to get ahead of ourselves. I think what you saw in the numbers was just the byproduct, was just what the result of, I think, focusing on the right things. But we did not go into the series saying, "Oh, we're going to dominate them this way." No, we said, "Okay, let's focus on these things in front of us." And then the numbers that you see now, Quinito, I think is the byproduct of that focus.
Coach Shot, game 3. Mikey Williams, your prized rookie, 39 points, took 25 shots, only had 1 rebound and 2 assists. You lost that game. But somehow there were big adjustments you made in games 4 and finally the clincher in game 5. What were those adjustments? And what did you tell Mikey? Because he must have been on a high because he scored 39 points, but he was also at the low because tatalo kayo. How did you get him to play the way he did the rest of the way?
Well, you can ask Kib and Poi, but I don't think Mikey was happy at all after game 3. It really didn't matter how many points he scored. Yeah. We were all upset and disappointed that we lost the game. And we lost the game, and which is part of the accountability element of our team model. We face facts. We face the facts brutally, and you cannot escape from video, right? When we show it on video, if Poi did not box out, if Kib Montalbo didn't defend his man the right way, what can he say? It's right there in video. So that's part of our accountability, and it was very simple. We just called out the players who did not play up to par, and I think you already cited it. In particular, we called out Kelly and Ryan, who combined were negative 41 in our plus minus numbers. And so we said, we can't win this game if you are if the two of you are negative 41. And so we said, just don't play that badly, because even as bad as the team played in game 3, we were down 18 at the start of the fourth quarter. We still made a run and almost came all the way back. Got it out to within 3 points in the last 2 minutes, right? So I said, for game 4, we'll make no minor adjustments. Just don't play that badly. Wag nang sobrang samahing laro nyo. I think konting samahang laro, I think we can survive it. But and sure enough, from negative 41, Ryan and Kelly ended up game 4
Plus
positive
24, plus 21.
43 or something. So it was an almost 100-point turnaround just by those two guys. So yun lang. It's just a matter of taking. I think we were just very brutally honest with ourselves, coaching staff included. Even myself, the coaching staff. If there is an adjustment that we're not able to make, we see it on video and we say that's ours. That's our call. That's on us. So credit also to the players for being mature enough to accept that kind of feedback, because we just had to be very brutally honest. After a win, after a loss, the same thing.
Yeah.
Dyan?
Well, Kid and Boy, after that game 3 loss, ano yung sa palagay nyo naging parang key sa lahat, well, aside from Coach Chot saying that just don't play that bad, ano sa palagay nyo ang naging key to be able to turn it around and come back with game 4 and 5 wins? Boy, ikaw muna.
Ang tatandaan ko lang kasi lagi itong ginujoke ng teammate ko si JJ. Sabi niya, hindi talaga pangit yung laro namin. Basura yung nilaro namin nung game 3. So,
Wow.
kami
Ganon?
talagang...
So parang
so kami
inadmit
talaga,
nyo na. You
Yeah.
own the fact that you played bad,
Yes.
not just...
kasi
That's a very interesting thought, huh?
That's
That you
accountability.
just-
That's accountability.
yes, kasi
Yeah.
Coach Chot always told us na be better. Lagi niya nilalagay sa board yun
Yeah.
3 lang nilalagay niya be better, tapos minsan accountability, tapos minsan discipline intensity, ganyan. Pero always nilalagay niya better. So be better than your last game. Kahit nas maganda yung laro mo last game, kailangan be better than your last game pa rin. So yun nga, last game, sobrang yung game 3 namin, sobrang hindi pangit basura yung nilaro namin. So for us, na naging accountable kami doon. Lahat kami narinig namin yung message. Parang reading between the lines, kumbaga. So yun, kaya maganda yung after nun, parang bumalik agad yung hunger namin na dapat hindi ganito yung lalaroin natin. Dapat we're almost perfect just para manalo sa game. Kasi hindi pwede na, kasi kahit almost perfect yung laro mo, matatalo pa rin kayo, di ba? So might as well be perfect. Lahat kayo, almost perfect lahat kayo, dapat ganun ilalaro nyo. Kasi this is the finals, di ba? So kailangan accountable ka, kailangan alam mo yung ginagawa mo. Yun, coach letting us know na talagang basura yung nilaro namin. So yun, alaman namin na talagang basura talaga. So kahit na pinapanood namin sa replay, basura talaga yung nilaro namin. Kaya kami lahat, nagising kami lalo.
Pero buti na lang hindi kayo na down, na depressed. Instead, you used it as a fire to turn your energy around and bring it back up, right?
Yes, I think there's no need to be down kasi it's a series naman And then we were up 2-1. So that time parang ang kailangan lang namin is okay, talo tayo ng game 3. Pero we're still up by 1. So inisip namin ano bang kailangan natin gawin para mas improve pa, para mas gumanda pa yung lalaro natin. So yun.
Kib, ikaw. I know, si Kib.
Hello?
Kib,
Am I back?
what do you think? Yeah, you're back. What do you think really helped to get it back up again for you guys?
Those were the exact, sabi nga ni Poy, those were the exact words na sinabi ni Coach Basura, and I was one of those because I started it. I played bad defense. I was like negative 12 in 3 minutes. That's why Coach couldn't put me back in. So, yun nga, we just held ourselves accountable. And actually, sinabi ko kay Coach sa viewing na babawi ako because parang sama ng defense ko nun for the past 2 games game 2 and game 3. So yun nga, just be accountable and bawi next game.
Yeah,
Okay,
Kib,
now
I think I told Kib, wala ka pang 3 minutes naglaro, negative 12 ka.
Yeah.
Natatawa
game.
ako.
I have a
Yeah,
question.
I made the first 2 defensive mistakes din.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I
After
started
nun, pagod na kayo ni
it.
Coach.
So yun,
Kip and Poy, meron akong itatanong sa inyo, no? During the Magnolia series, well, first of all, ang premise natin, very physical maglaro ang Magnolia. Calvin, Jackson, Gio, Baroka, they're all very physical players. In fact, during the eliminations, number one sila in terms of most fouls because of their pressure defense, no? During the series, nagkasakitan. Nagkaasaran, aminin na natin, no? There was a bad fall. Troy Rosario went down in game number 3, dislocated his finger. He had a problem with his spine, yet he was able to come back and play games 4 and 5. How did you cope with this physicality? Kib, alam ko physical player ka din, pero yung level of physicality ng Magnolia, ibang klase din. How did you guys cope? Kib.
Actually, we know na physical talaga sila maglaro. We just need, parang, hindi dapat yung focus namin dun eh. Our focus must be kung ano yung game plan namin and what we need to do in offense to execute. Actually, kasi pag finals, you expect everyone it's gonna be a dogfight out there. The other team wants to win then, and wala eh. Parang last na to eh. These are the last games na of the tournament. So lahat talaga would give it their all. So we kind of expected it, and yun lang, inabsorb na lang namin, and we just played through it.
Poy, ikaw
Coach
naman.
Chot. Go ahead,
Poy.
Poy.
So yun nga, sabi nga ni Kib.
Sa physicality nila, nakabawi ka ba?
Hindi ako ano. Just nga, sabi nga ni Kib, just play through it eh. So, syempre, yun din, yung sasabi ko kanina na parang be accountable kasi kung ano kunyari, mag-retaliate ka, tapos kung ano mangyari sa team, kasalanan mo pa, di ba? So, isipin mo na lang talaga yung kung ano talaga yung ultimate goal nyo, ba't kayo nandito sa bubble, ba't kayo nasa finals, ano ba talaga yung, naisip ko rin na ano ba yung sinacrifice ng bawat isa player dito, ng coaches, ng mga ball boys namin, ba't ba kami nandito, di ba? So, yun talaga iniisip ko that time na, sabi ko, just play through it, just stick to the system, tiwala kay coach. Kung sobrang physical, sige, sabihin mo na lang sa teammate mo. Sabi kay Jason, lagi ako na-remind, hayaan mo na lang sila. Ano bang goal natin? Manalo, di ba? So, doon kami na mas nag-focus. Doon kami, kasi pag nagpo-focus kami, magreklamo kami sa referee, masisira laro namin. And it's proven na pag reklamo kami ng reklamo, masisira talaga laro namin. Mawawala kami sa system namin. So yun, we trusted the coach. Sabi ng coach, let us, kung ano yung nangyayari sa loob, hayaan nyo kaming coach magsabi sa mga referee. Kayo, laro lang kayo kasi ang goal natin is to win the game. Not to react and not to argue with the referee. So, yun ang ginawa namin.
Coach Chot, you wanted to say something?
No, ang sabi ko, takot lang nila sa akin kung bumawi sila.
Dyan, you wanted to ask something also?
No, I wanted to ask Coach Chot, I'm sure you've had a lot of time of reflection on the flight to Los Angeles. What are you most proud about with your boys, especially these two guys here? You gave them the trust, the confidence, extra minutes and everything. Looking back, what were some of the moments that make you really smile and be proud, not just of yourself, but of the team?
I can tell you specific moments for every single player because I take pride in that. I have my relationship with my players is that deep, and for me, for Kib, it was when you look at Kib, what gives me most pride is his growth, his development as a player. I mean, he put in the work, and as Kib says, trust his training. He put in so much work in the weights room, extra shots. He improved his 3-point shooting. He improved his overall understanding of the game. But there are a couple of games where it was, if you notice, Quinito, it was crucial, even entering the fourth quarter, tight ball game, and I would still take out Jason and put Kib in. Because I really wanted to see what this kid is made of. And I think there was, I don't know, where there were a game or two where I did not have to put Jason back in because Kib was doing such a great job. We did not find the need to get Jason back in the game. So that's one thing for Kib. For Poy, it was just his consistent ability to keep within himself. to stay and not mind what the opponents were doing to him, and also not mind because Poy is a very emotional person, and we all accept that. And I think his development and growth as an individual, emotionally, psychologically, for me, that's what gives me the most pride. I mean, as a basketball player, his skills, that's a given. He's a hell of a player. Um, I don't see too many 6'8" guys in the league who can handle the ball and shoot the three like Poy can, and still be a shot blocker and defensive presence inside and a rebounder. Uh, but for me, what impressed me the most was his willingness to accept reduced minutes, to his willingness to, when we feel the need to start Kelly, it's okay. He has absolutely no qualms coming off the bench. When Kelly was out, I mean, some players will say, "Oh, ngayon wala si Kelly, akong sa akin kayo titingin." Still, no problem with Poy. He accepted his role and he started, and I thought he did his job extremely well. And then when Kelly was back in harness, okay, Poy, we'll go back to Kelly starting, and then you go back to providing that spark of the bench. And he took it. I didn't even have to talk to him. And people don't appreciate that, Quinito and Dyan. It's and I always talk to my players about this. For you to be an impact player, an impact low maintenance player, diba, yung hindi ka na kailangan bigyan pa ng extra attention ng coach, hindi ka na kailangan bigyan ng extra effort ng coach, because ang dami na naming iniisip diba? Iniisip namin players namin, iniisip pa namin kalaban, iniisip namin yung minutes, iniisip namin for us para isipin pa kung magdadamdam kaya si Poy, magtatampo kaya siya ng ganito, diba? It's unnecessary. So I really super appreciate that for a player of Poy's caliber. He's a veteran, he's an all-star, a defensive player of the year, and still be willing to accept a reduced role. I say reduced, but no less important. Very, very important role in this team. So para sa akin, yun ang pinaka. So for me, when you say, Dyan, when I reflect on the championship, that's what is the most special moments for me. Those are the most endearing moments for me. The little things the players do to sacrifice.
Seeing that kind of growth is such a win, diba? Because that kind of growth can take you not just to this championship but to the next one. With that kind of like emotional growth that you described kay Poy. And I totally get what you mean. Hindi na kailangan to worry about their emotional whatever, going to just be a good soldier. Boom, team effort.
Yeah, but just to be clear, we don't set aside our emotions. We accept the emotions. We're all very emotional, and I'm a very emotional. All my players are very emotional. So we accept those emotions, but we don't get carried away by it. So we acknowledge everyone's emotions. Somebody's feeling down, somebody's missing his family, somebody's not feeling at his peak. We accept all of those things, we acknowledge it, and then we talk about it. And then we make sure that we don't, by doing that, then we are not carried away by we don't allow ourselves to be carried away by our emotions. And I think that's very, very special to me as a coach, seeing that from my players.
Well, Coach Chot, I wanted to share something with you. I was supposed to see Chairman Ricky Vargas, and he told me, Quinito, it's very rare that our chairman MVP expresses admiration for someone from Lasal. And he did tonight. Sabi ko, Chairman, was he admiring me because I'm from Lasal? No, not you, sabi niya, Kib Montalbo. That's what he was saying. But that's for Kib. And for Poy, I remember there was one international tournament where Poy played. Nabasag yata yung ngipin mo, Poy, di ba? But yet, hindi mo parang pinansin yon, tapos sige pa rin. Ano ba nangyari doon, that incident, nung nabasag yung ngipin mo, Poy?
Parang post ata kalaban Korea. So I'm going for the steal. Tapos, pag steal ko, tapik yung bola, out of bounds. So, tinry ko kunin yung bola para ma-save yung possession. Instead na ma-save ko, hindi ko na-save yung sarili ko. Kaya tumama yung mukha ko sa sa floor. As in, sa wood. Sa wooden floor, tumama. So, pag tama, lipad yung dalawang ngipin ko sa harap, lipad. So, pagtingin ko, sobrang nahilo. Tapos yun, pagtingin, wala na. Tanggal na yung ngipin ko dito.
Wow.
Anong tournament nga yun? Koy, nakalimutan ko na din eh.
Asian Games po, Asian
Asian
Games.
Games, yeah.
The Asian Games.
Korea
No,
kalaban.
not
Basag
only
yun
that,
dito.
Quinito, if I may say so, Game 4, Poy, since Game 4 of the semis, Poy has been playing with a fractured cheekbone.
Wow.
Yes, the collision with ganun din, mahilig siyang ihampas yung ulo niya sa sahig eh. Hindi niya palagi hinahampas yung ulo niya sa sahig. Yeah, so
Nag-maskara nga siya, di ba?
Yeah, he had to wear a mask because he has a hairline
Dito.
fracture in his cheekbone. For him to play the rest of the semis and the whole finals on that, I mean, wala ka na ibang sasabihin, di ba?
Yeah, and I wanted to ask Coach Chot finally. You're taking a break in Los Angeles, but what else are you doing there that you can share with us na medyo exciting and confidential na pwede namin sabihin?
It's not really confidential aside from the fact that I'm visiting family and spending time with my own family. Also a chance for me to see my mother. I haven't seen in 3 years. But I'm also hoping to take a look at some imports, not for this next conference necessarily, but for future reference. And I think if you start looking for an import a couple of weeks before the tournament, that's too late. So this is just part of my regular. I do this as often as possible, almost every year. Every opportunity I get to go around, take a look at guys. You'll never know. I keep them in my data bank, and I'm hoping again this time that I'll have another opportunity to see several guys. Who knows? Maybe in the future we'll have a different height import, different height limit, different requirement, because we have an import already now for the second conference. But again, this is part of just my regular continuing to grow my network and just like I said, widening the data bank.
Well, just the last two questions for Kib and also for Poy, no? Kayo na siguro ang team to beat this coming second conference. Meron kayong import na si Mackenzie Moore will be playing with you. Pero meron din kayong resident import na si Mikey Williams na parang import kung maglaro. Tapos yung buong team ninyo, high level of confidence, na palaro ni Coach Chot, lahat kayo, very even distribution of minutes, ang ganda ng rotation. Kib, is this going to be more of a pressure for you now because coming off a championship season, you will be the team to beat in the second conference?
Sa akin syempre we made the big targets on our backs by winning the championship this year. Pero yun nga, we don't shy away from pressure. Sabi nga ni Coach Chot, pressure is yung wala kang makain. So ito, basketball game, we love the pressure and then we love to compete. Yung nasasabi sa amin ni Coach palagi na this is a competition, syempre may pressure talaga. Pero yun nga, you have the opportunity every game na i-overcome yung pressure and manalo. So ready lang kami and we're gonna do our best. And then syempre yung confidence namin mataas, pero we're not gonna let that parang hindi kami magiging overconfident kumbaga kasi nanalo nga kami kasi ibang conference na to eh. So we're just gonna be better than the last conference and we'll see what's gonna happen.
Kib?
Yes.
Your thoughts about this coming conference?
Well, I'm looking forward to it. We just have to be ready, especially na may import. There's an import coming in, and yun nga. Wala naman ata tayong sand dunes, coach, no? But if ever in-embrace namin yung parang laging sinasabi namin sa amin ni coach yung parang may fruits talaga yung pinagtatrabahuan namin. So let's see how it goes.
This question for you. Looks like you're going to be the team to beat. How will this be a tougher challenge for you and for you to motivate your players to play at the next level, the higher level?
We just need to stick to our mantra from day one. That is to get better. We hope to continue to to keep getting better. And like Poy said, we have a saying in our team, pressure is there. We have to embrace it. We have to accept it. And I keep telling the players, kung ayaw nyo ng pressure, doon kayo maglaro sa Interbarangay. Di ba? You're in the PBA. You're part of team talk and text. Of course, there is pressure. So just make sure that you're able to embrace it, accept it, and focus on the right things. And I think our entire focus now is just to get better. How can we get better individually and as a team? And for the players, how can they contribute? How can they contribute to team talk and text? And if we focus on those things, we know the other teams are going to be gunning for us. We know it's going to be a tough tournament. We'll just see what happens. We're out there to get better, to compete, to play together as a team, and then whatever happens is going to happen.
Much congratulations to all of you. I mean, just so proud of your progress and the championship. And Coach Chot, I'm a super fan. I would love to be. I'm not a basketball player, but I would love to be under you just to get motivated and told na basura ako, so I can become better. All the best and more power. My mom is especially looking forward to the next concert. She watches every single game. She gets
my
mad
daughter.
at me. She gets mad at me if I change the channel for 1 second.
Nice.
Kahit
My
replay,
daughter.
pinapanood niya.
My daughter is a big tennis buff. She and her boyfriend, they play. In fact, we'll try to play some tennis here. They were playing this morning.
Really?
We'll try to play some tennis here. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take advantage of the open tennis in the United States.
Yeah.
It's so much fun there. Okay,
Well,
looking
thank you very,
forward
very
to
much.
seeing you guys, and hopefully you can play with fans, no? When in the next conference,
Yeah.
Quinito, what do you think?
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Thank you very much for your time, Coach Chot and Kib.
Thank you.
Have
Thank
a great
you.
time in La Union, and thank you for making time for us even on the highway. And Poy Erram, maraming salamat and more
Salamat
power.
po.
Congratulations, TNT.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Champion.
Andiyan ka pala
Thank
sa
you.
La Union, Kib. Dumiretso ka na sa San Junes. Malapit ka na.
Extra training. So you're back in training November 15, right?
Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for your time. Whether you're someone who loves working out and taking part in different sports, or a person who prefers to look and feel good, PlayItRight.com has something for you. PlayItRight.com is a one-stop shop that provides the needs of serious athletes and stylish individuals, featuring well-known and respected brands like Asics, Molten, Mikasa, Mueller, Donjoy, Butterfly, and countless others. PlayItRight.com offers premium products at reasonable prices, so no need to look elsewhere. Check out PlayItRight.com now in the link below.
Well, wasn't that a fun chat? I mean, ang sarap pakinggan yung mga realizations of champion teams. Not just experiencing win, but talking through their challenges, how they got through it. I mean, you can learn so much from it, whether you're a basketball player or whatever kind of athlete about. I was actually really inspired to talk to these two guys. And I mean, I love the fact how they really emphasized na yung accepting their mistakes and then actually making light of it and using that as fuel to get better. Diba? I really love that. It shows, sabi nga ni Coach Chot, a lot of maturity on their part. And as a coach, thankful siya because, I mean, that takes away a little bit, like he said, ang dami na nilang iniisip. So, I mean, congratulations to those two guys and Coach Chotwa. What can I say? It's always so interesting I love to get into his mind and to see what he's thinking. He's just got so much in him that's so valuable, and blessing to the PBA that he said yes, diba, to come back and really go back to something that he himself said he thought he was been there, done that, diba?
Well, two words that resonated with me during our conversation were accountability and motivation. And I thought both Kib and Poy talked about that very, very articulately when they said that they held themselves accountable for what happened in
Yeah.
Game 3, the only game that they lost in the finals to Magnolia. But sabi nga nila, no, they accepted the fact that they played parang basura. They used that word, but they came back from it in a strong way, and they made sure that they would close it out in game number 5. So they were motivated, they were accountable, and they got the job done. Really hats off to Coach Chot. As you said, Dyan, I think he's a blessing to the PBA. It's good that he's
Yeah.
back. I was a little afraid that he wouldn't be as fiery as before because,
Yeah.
age sort of tend to mellow. But
Yeah.
when I saw him kneeling down in front of the referees and, doing his old antics, sabi ko, Coach Shot is back. And,
Some things never change, right?
yeah, and back in a big way because he's
Yeah.
there not just to bring his team to the championship, but also to show the fans how hard work, how teamwork
Yeah.
can make you succeed and can make you better. So I thought this was an excellent show, Diane, and it was great that we were able to bring in Coach Shot all the way from Los Angeles, Kib Montalbo all the way on the way to La Union, and Boy Erram. We thank them very, very much for this wonderful episode.
And thank you so much, viewers, for joining us again here on Play It Right, where we bring you the latest on the greatest in sports. I am Dyan Castillejo.
And this is Quinito Henson.
And we are here to always play it right.
Play it right.